Hi, crafty friends. It's Kelly from Kelly's Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today for my YouTube premiere for Tuesday, February 27th. Today I have for you a really fun men's card. It has to do with tools. So this could easily be for someone in your life that's maybe a female and very crafty. But anyways, it's a very fun card that I have for you today. And it's really 99% of it is using the free Celebration Trusty Toolbox paper that is in the Celebration catalog. Now, many of you have heard me talk about this catalog. It's a catalog that goes from January through February, so we don't have too much time left on the catalog, and it's full of nothing but free stuff. So this means that if you order something from the annual catalog, from the mini catalog that actually goes through April, and your order comes to at least $50, you get to pick something from the Celebration catalog for free. And today I will show you the paper that we're going to be using from that catalog. As another step, if you were to order $100 or more, you can order either two of the free $50 items, or there's even some $100 items in there that you can choose from. So much fun stuff. So today, this is what we're going to be using. This is the Trusty Tools stamp set. Now this has 12 images and 4 sentiments. We're going to be using the Happy Father's Day sentiment. Now, you don't even really need this stamp set really with the paper, because the paper has all of these tools on it that you'll see that you can just cut them out. And then you can use your own sentiment. Maybe you want to use happy birthday, or maybe you've got a Happy Father's Day, or something that fits your card. Now, this also comes with, you can bundle it with dies, so that if you wanted to stamp all of these things out, maybe stamp them in a specific color, you can always use your dies and die cut them out. That's perfectly good. Now, this is good in the mini catalog that's good through April, so you've got time to get that if you want. But what we're going to be using today is this designer series paper. Look how cute that is. You've got some pegboard paper here. This is tape, what is it? Tape dispenser, tape ruler. I can't think of it right. Measuring tape, right there. You can just cut a strip of that out. There's your measuring tape. And look at all of these tools. We today are just cutting out these tools. I mean, how easy do they make it? Now, I did want to mention that on this paper, as you'll see, there are lots of things on the edges that are cut off. And don't throw those away. These are still perfectly good to use. For example, here's a hammer. You can't even tell that it's hammer. Most of it is gone. You can still use that. And I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to use my end pieces today. So before I put you down to my stamping table, I did want to mention, if you have any questions or comments for me, just leave it in the comments below. And I'm right here and I will respond back to you. While you're there, I would appreciate it if you would hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, are you ready to do this cute toolbox card? Okay, come on down to my stamping table. All right, so here are our pieces. So as you can see over here, I have a lot of the tools cut out. Now, a lot of these I've gone ahead and I've stamped myself. Others, I've fussy cut them out of these designer paper. So you can see how you can really get a bang for your buck out of all these tools coming from this paper. Now you'll see here's a lot of the tools that were cut off at the edge of the paper. I've pulled all of those out because I'm going to try and use those today. So you'll get to see how I do that, but just know, don't throw these tools away that aren't 100% all together. All right, so now our pieces today. First we have our card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4. It's basically a half a piece of your basic size 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So it's 8.5 across, 5.5 is half of 11. You cut it, you score it in half, We'll fold it later. There's going to be our card base. Now we've got a piece of cardstock for our mat. So this is going to be our mat. This is what we're going to build our toolbox on. And this piece here is 4 inches across by 4 1/8 inch tall. Now I know many of you get very confused about the 8-inch measurement, so I'm going to help try and explain that a little bit. So here I have a little cheat sheet of 1 inch. This is 1 inch across, a little bigger than you can see in your rearview mirror. So in the middle, of course, is half. We all know that. And we all know that, you know, on each side of that is 1/4 inch. So 1/8 of an inch is all those little tiny lines that are between the quarters, between the 1/4 and the half, between the 1/2 and 3/4, and between the 3/4 and 1 inch. These are these tiny little lines. Those are 1/8 inches. So your piece of card mat is going to be 1/8 of an inch longer up and down than it is across. So this is going to be our mat. Now we're going to need a piece of pegboard. This is from the designer paper. This piece of pegboard is going to be 4 1/2 inches across by 4 1/4 across and 1 1/8 inch down. Then we have, here's our measuring tape. This also came from the designer paper. This one is going to be 4 inches across, 7 1/8 inch tall. And again, that's going to be 7/8 is this little line at the very end between 1/4 and a full inch. So that's how wide that is, 7/8 of an inch wide. Then we have red cardstock. This is going to be our drawers. These are also 4 inches wide. They're going to be 3/4 of an inch tall. And we just need 3 of these. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this scrap of paper, because all we really need is something to cut 4 pieces of 1/2 inch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I would like to have the pulls from my toolbox drawers gray. So I wanted to show you, just in case you don't have gray cardstock, we're going to make that today, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to take my paper here. I'm going to take a blending brush, and I'm going to take some basic gray ink, and see if I can bring this into view a little bit better. So I'm going to rub my blending brush in my ink a little bit, and then you always start off of the paper and continuing in circular motions. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to start off the paper in circles, then I'm going to go in, and I don't know if you can see that, but you can kind of see it starting to get a little bit darker. And I'm going to continue doing that until I have about a what is it, 1/2 inch strips. So say a 2x4. And I'm using a bigger piece of paper because I want to get outside the lines of the 4 inch. I'm going to do maybe 5 inches of this. I should have re-inked because it's getting awful blotchy. And just keep on going. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to make this a little darker than if you say we're using this on a white cardstock. And you'll see when I'm done, well, it looks very blotchy in the camera, and I assure you that it's not. The reason why I'm using a bigger piece of cardstock than I really need. Like I said, we only need 4 inches. But these outside edges can be a little messy. And so I just want a nice middle gray. And again, sorry, I could have re-inked my ink pad to make this go a little bit quicker. So I'm just going to go with that. It's going to look like Dirty Fingers Metal Gray is what it's going to end up looking like. So let me close up my gray. Now I'm going to cut this. We only need 4-inch strips. Yeah, we got a good, so let's see, I'm going to cut it off at about, I think I like this part here. So we need 2 inches total. So let's go over here to the 2-inch mark. We need 4 inches. And I'm just cutting out this outer edge because as you see, you can see these really dark edges when you come onto the paper with your blending brush. And I'm just kind of finding what part of the paper that I like best, that's the most solid color. All right, so now this is now gonna be, so it's 4 by 2, and what I'm going to do is I'm just now going to cut these into strips. There's an inch strip. I'm going to put these together. Come here. I'm going to put these together. I'm going to put this at the 1/2 inch mark. Make sure they're both in there together. And there we go. All right, so now we have 4 strips that are going to be the handle for our toolbox. All right. So now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to stamp our greeting on it. This is really the only stamping that we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to use this. This is the closest color to the pegboard. So I'm going to take my Happy Father's Day stamp. I'm going to tap it on the ink pad a few times, look at it, make sure that it looks evenly stamped, and then I'm just going to stamp it right there on the measuring tape. All right, that looks good. So that's all the stamping that we have to do. So let me put that away. So now we are going to take and we're going to adhere this pegboard to the top of our base. Now make sure got to measure which part is the 4-inch. Is that where we're at? 4 inches. Yeah, because I got to do some tick marks. Actually, no, this is not going to go on there. Sorry, guys. All right, so this is where I'm putting the pegboard. I need to get this out of the way too. Move this up a little bit. So this pegboard is going to go to the top of your card base. And I'm just going to put, you can see the back side is the measuring tape. I'm just going to put a little bit of ink. Okay. Yeah, I think I might need to pull the glue off of the tip of that, so we're going to do this instead. I want to put some adhesive. And we're going to put that right along the top of there. Then I have 2 buttons here, and I'm going to use these for the wheels. Upside down. Use these for the wheels. So in these particular buttons, there's I don't know, it kind of goes in a little bit there. So I'm going to use a dimensional, and I'm going to stick it right inside my buttons. Get them in there. There we go. And then I'm going to take off the paper there. And I'm going to put them at the very, very bottom of the card base. Oops. Couldn't see what I was doing. Sorry about that. So there's our buttons that I've glued down with dimensionals at the bottom of our base. All right. So now we're going to take this card mat, and again, we want to look for the 4-inch edge is across. So once you have that, what I want you to do is right top along the top edge and bottom along the bottom edge, because we want to make sure we keep this the right direction, because remember, this one is only this much longer, and there's a reason for that, and you'll find out. Now we're going to turn it sideways with bottom to the right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make a tick mark along that side at 1, 2, and 3 inches. So here we have 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to turn it over, or I'm going to flip my ruler down to the bottom, and I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to mark at 1, 2, and 3. That's going to tell us where our little drawers are going to go. Where am I? All right, so now we're going to take these strips that we've cut out. This is going to be our drawer tops, and we're going to adhere these starting at the top. We're going to adhere with adhesive only on the outside edges, because we're going to be putting our tools in our drawers, and we're going to continue doing that with this tick mark with the top of the gray where these tick marks are. So let me get started with my first one. All right. Guess we're going to go in with some glue. Let me get a little bit of glue there. And I'm just going to adhere that right across the top. I'll try it again. See if my handy assistant got my glue going, and he did. And where the top is. And then we're going to do this again. Here's my tick mark. So I'm going to put the top of my gray right there at that tick mark. And I'm going to repeat that. A little bit of glue, outside edges. Put my drawers right there at the tick marks. And we have one more drawer pull. Okay. Now, we are going to adhere our Happy Father's Day greeting on our measuring tape. And this one, I'm just going to do the outside edges just because we don't really have to. But this is going to go along the very, very bottom. All right. Now, we are going to take our red pieces, and I'm going to lay these so that the bottom of the red touches the top of the gray piece that's right below it. And again, it's important that we had put adhesive only on the outside edges. And as you can see, I'm using the multi-purpose liquid glue because you can get a thinner strip and you have time to move it around a little bit. You can put it down, and if it's crooked or if it's over one side, you can always scoot it, and you have, oh no, 5 seconds maybe, something like that. All right, we're going to do that again. A little bit of glue. Put it on top of that gray piece. I may regret getting those so close because I have to get my tools in there still. All right, we'll do our last piece like that. So you can kind of see it's coming together. It's kind of starting to look like a toolbox. Now I'm going to take these guys and I'm gonna, let me start taking some of these. Let me scoot maybe this guy under here. Let me start with the bottoms. These guys. I'm going to put this one down here. And my screw dry, or whatever this guy is. And pop this one right up in here somewhere. This one, no. Let's try this one. Yeah, because it's not the same color. And then I think I like this one. I'll put this one up here. Get in there. And then, there we go. Here's a saw. There's really not much of it there, but you know, anybody can tell what that is. I'll stick that in right in there. And this guy. Yeah. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is this is how I'm going to, the tools that I'm going to use for this. And now I just need to start adhering. And I think I'm going to cut some of these off. And so, for example, I'm going to cut I think I'm just going to glue the back of this guy. It's going to be kind of hard to get that in there. So, a little bit of that tool sticking out. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back of this one piece. This other piece, can't even see it. And do that. And then I'm just going to really quickly, you guys, just do some quick gluing. Stick it down. Let me turn this sideways. I'm out of frame again. Sorry about that, you guys. A little bit of glue. Stick it over there. A little bit of glue. Yeah. I was going to turn that around, but nah, changed my mind. Glue. And then these, I'm just going to put some glue on the inside. A little dot right there. And about that much right there. All right, so now we have our tools. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take dimensionals. I'm going to put this on the back of my mat. And we're going to adhere this down to our card base. And I'm going to adhere it so that we have a little bit of those wheels poking up, and it's evenly spaced between the left and right hand side. So that looks pretty good. I can go up a little bit, show a little bit more of those wheels. And there we have it. There we have it, guys. Fold our card base in half. I always like to use my bone folder to make sure that this stays nice and flat when you lay it down. And there you go. There is your Father's Day card using the free Celebration Designer Series paper, or what we call DSP. So again, go ahead and contact me if you're interested in getting this fun paper or any of these other things. So let me turn the camera around. Okay, my crafty friends, so I hope you enjoyed that. And one more time, again, if you didn't already, please click the like button and subscribe so you'll be notified the next time I do a YouTube Live. If you are interested in any of these products or reaching out to me, I will attach the link to my online store, as well as an email address to reach me at if you have any questions. That is kellyscrafts@mail.com. That's spelled KELLYSKRAFTS@mail.com. That's mail, like happy mail. All right, thanks again for joining, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.